I am Anil.Khandelwal, sharing with you some interesting questions from my book Rediscover Algebra and Trigonometry. It is packed with knowledge and some twist in education. Now here are two questions, which is question number 1. Explain why square root of a times b is not equal to square root of a times square root of b. Very interesting question. Many students normally feel that this statement is that they are equal, and most of the questions are solved that way. Perfect, but you know, you need to explain why they are not equal. Perfect. And question number 2 here is provide an example of a number whose square root is greater than the original number. So when we take examples of square roots, let's say square root of 4 is 2, it is smaller. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. So most of the time we take examples where the square root of a number is smaller. And so the students get an impression that square root is always smaller. So that is what we want to break in this particular video. Find it interesting? Perfect. Let's go through and understand what it really means. So, so if I have something like, I'll take very simple numbers, right? Something like, let's say, 9 times 16, right? So I could rewrite this as square root of 9 times square root of 16. And so I could also write this as 3 times 4 and then 12. Perfect. There's nothing wrong in this. But see, instead of square root of 9 times 16, if I write square root of minus 9 times minus 60. Now look at the same thing, right? Can you rewrite this as square root of minus 9 times square root of minus 16? Well, that is where the problem comes, right? You cannot. And therefore, you can always not write like this, perfect, because within a square root you cannot have a negative sign. So I hope that opens up this particular thing, and you understand now why always this is not true. Perfect. So we have shown this, right? So this is not true. Correct. So now let's get to question number 2, which is provide an example of a number whose square root is greater than the original number. Okay, so let's consider a number which is not like 9, right? Because if you take a whole number which is 9, the square root is 3. And you know 3 is much lesser than 9. Square root of 16 we saw is 4, and 4 is also lesser than 16. How about if I take 1 over 4, right? So if I take 1 over 4, then the square root of 1 over 4 is equal to half. And clearly, what we see here is that half is greater than 1/4, right? Half a cup is more capacity of filled water, for example, or tea if you want to, than quarter of a cup of tea. You get the whole idea. So if you take numbers which are between 0 and 1, right, in that case you will see that the square root of a number is greater than the number itself. So that is what I wanted to draw your attention to. I hope this concept is absolutely clear. Feel free to write your comments, share your views, and in case you are interested in my books, send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. These books are also available on Amazon. Thank you and all the best.